ज्ञानानन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam thematic series. We have been discussing the third chapter of the first canto, which is answering especially question 4, 5, and in the end, it will answer question 6. So you see the connection between chapter 2 and chapter 3. After Sut Goswami, in the last question, Bhavette Loka Bhavana, that the Lord incarnates Devatirya Naradishu in all varieties of species in order to reclaim the souls who are in pure goodness. So Anurato, Leela Anurato, he is absorbed in the Leela. And why he performs these Leelas? In order to attract the conditioned souls and reclaims those souls who are in pure goodness. So what are those list of avatars? Sut continues to describe them from chapter 3, and he begins with the Leela avatars of the Purusha avatars, because the Purusha avatars also do Leela in the form of creation, and they are also absorbed. Mahavishnu is fully absorbed in Yoga Nidra. Garbhodakshay Vishnu is in Yoga Nidra. Shirodaksha Vishnu is also in Yoga Nidra. All are in Yoga Nidra. And the Purusha Avatar pastimes of creation, in principle, is discussed verses 1 to 5. Now, within the creation, the 22 incarnations, Suta Goswami will begin his description from verse 6 onwards, which we will start today. Now, few things I wanted to discuss, that these incarnations are not in a chronological order. And firstly, Rishaya Sarga. In the Rishaya Sarga, this incarnation appeared. So what are these Risha Sharga? There is different kalpas of Brahma day, during the day the creation is manifest, and during the night of Brahma, where water is inundated up to the three planetary systems, up to the upper planetary systems. So again, the water subsides during the day of Brahma, and then further the living entities are given bodies to act. So there are different days of Brahma where there is different names given. So, and many incarnations manifest. So some of the incarnations, 22 is just a small list. Some of the principles, Sutta Goswami, principal incarnations he is describing, and they are not in chronological order. It's the second thing to be understood in this whole discussion. So we will just start quickly going through all these 22 incarnations. Now, if you have any questions, then I will take up. Otherwise, I'll just keep on discussing. Prabhupada writes quite elaborate commentaries on each of these incarnations. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur doesn't do so, but Prabhupada does. So let us come with the Kaumara Sarga. Sa eva pratamam deva Kaumaram Sargamashita Chachara Dushcharam Brahma Brahmacharyam Akhanditam. Garbhodakshai first, Sa eva pratamam deva, because in Eta Nanan Avataranam. So this second Purusha incarnation, Nana Avataranam, many incarnations appear. So Sa refers to Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Made his appearance in the Kumaras, Kaumaram, Sargam, Ashrita, becoming Brahmanas, Brahma. They undertook continuous Chachara Akandam, severe Dushcharam of Brahmacharyam, of Brahmacharya. Prabhupada. The creation of the material world is affected, maintained, and then again annihilated at certain intervals. So there are different names of the creation in terms of the particular types of Brahma, the father of the living beings in the creation. So this is Kaumarasa, where the creation of the Kumars manifested. The Kumaras, as I mentioned, appeared in the Kaumara creation of the material world, and to teach us the process of Brahman realization, they underwent a severe type of disciplinary action as bachelors. Prabhupada is using the word bachelors because that's what in today's world we can understand Brahmacharya. So this is, there is the Shweta Varakalpa, where the Shweta Vara appeared. So like that, based on the incarnation, sometimes these sargas are named. So the Kaumara Sarga is first day of Brahma, because after Brahma appeared, and then Lord Shiva appeared, Rudra from the eyebrows, and the Kumaras appeared. So it's again, although they appeared from Brahma, the Kumaras, but it is essentially Garbhodakshai Vishnu, because Brahma also appeared from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. These Kumaras are empowered incarnations. And before executing the severe type of disciplinary actions, all of them become qualified Brahmanas, because only Brahmanas can perform tapasya. This example suggests that one must first acquire the qualifications of the Brahmana, not simply by birth, but also by quality, and then one can undergo this process of Brahman realization. So, Brahma Janati the Brahmana. So if you don't come to the mode of goodness, then realizing the absolute truth is not easy. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur. Now the avatars starting with the Kumaras are described. Padmanabh, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who carries out creation of the Devatas and others through portions of his portions. Amshena. Brahma made his appearance in the Kumaras. Kaumaram, Sargam, Ashrita. So Garbhodakshai Vishnu, through the portion of Brahma, made his appearance as Kumaras. Becoming Brahmanas, Brahma, they undertook vows of abstinence, Brahmacharyam Chachar. This means that They preach this by their conduct to the world. The words first, second, etc. are only enumerating the avatars and not indicating the exact chronology of the avatars' appearances. So this is not the exact chronology, 22 incarnations. That we should be very, very clear. Okay, let's go to the next one. द्वितीयं तु भवायस्य रसातलगतां महिम् उद्धरिष्यन् उपादत्ते यज्ञेषु शौकरं वपु. Secondly, Dvitiyam tu, the Lord of Sacrifice, Yajneshah, lifting up Uddharishan Upadatta, the earth from Rasatal Gatam Mahim, for its welfare, Bhavayasya, took the form of the bow, Shaukaram Vapu. Prabhupada. The indication is that for each and every incarnation of the personality of Godhead, the particular function executed is also mentioned. So here the function is that he lifted Mahim from the Rasatal. There cannot be any incarnation without a particular function, and such function is always extraordinary. That is what is an incarnation. They are impossible for any living being to perform. The incarnation of the Lord was to take the earth out of Pluto's region of filthy matter. Actually, it is the Garbhodak Sagar, but Prabhupada is giving us some indication. Picking up something from a filthy place is done by a boar, and the all-powerful personality of God had displayed this wonder to the Asuras who had hidden the earth in such a filthy place. That is Hiranyaksha. There is nothing impossible for the personality of Godhead, and although he played the part of the boar, by the devotees he is worshipped, staying always in transcendence. Vishwanath Chakravarti, his activities describe the words, he lifted up the earth for its welfare, Bhavayasya. In each case, the avatar and his activity has been mentioned. Prabhupada also says that. Okay, text 8, the third incarnation. Now, any questions you have while we are reading the purports, you can always raise your hands. Otherwise, I'm just go through this list quite quickly. Tritiyam Rishi Sargam Vai Deva Rishi Tvam Upetasah Tantram Satvatam Achashta Naishkarmyam Karmanam Yata. The Lord Saha, making his appearance among the sages as Narad, Rishyam Sargam Vai Deva Rishitvam Veda, produced the Pancharatra scriptures, Tantram Satvatam, from which Yata one learns a chashta, how devotional activities, Karmanam, free one from the bondage of karma, Naishkarmyam. So Rishi Sarga is where Deva Rishi Narad Muni appeared. Commentary by Srila Prabhupada. The great Rishi Narad, who is the empowered incarnation of the personality of Godhead, propagates devotional service all over the universe. All great devotees of the Lord all over the universe and in different planets and species of life are his disciples. Can you imagine? Narad Muni has disciples in the Devata Lok, in the animal species, in the great earth, all practically in the Bhagavatam, practically all are disciples of Narad Muni, right from the third canto. If you see, after he makes his appearance in the fourth canto, there is the Dhruva Maharaj pastime, Prachini Bari. In the fifth canto, there is Priyavrat. And then in the seventh, eighth cantos, Prahlad Maharaj. In the 11th canto, everywhere he is there. Srila Vyasdev, the compiler of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is also one of his disciples. Vyasdev is his disciples. Narad is the author of the Narad Pancharatra, which is an exposition of the Vedas, particularly for the devotional service of the Lord. This Narad Pancharatra trains the karmis, the fruitive workers, to achieve liberation from the bondage of fruitive work. Prabhupada gives, Satvatam Tantra. He is describing that, what exactly it is. The conditioned souls are mostly attracted by fruitive work because they want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. The whole universe is full of fruitive workers in all species of life. Everyone is working very hard to enjoy. The fruitive workers include all kinds of economic development plans by the law of nature. But the law of nature provides that every action has its resultant reaction, and the performer of work is bound up by such reactions, good or bad. And the reactions of good work is comparative material prosperity, whereas the reaction of bad work is comparative material distress. But material conditions, either in so-called happiness or in so-called distress, are all meant ultimately for distress only. Because if you are having so-called pious activities, you have to again take birth. Death is there. So ultimately, it's only distress. Foolish materialists have no information of how to obtain eternal happiness in the unconditional state. Shinarad informs these foolish fruiters how to realize the reality of happiness. He gives direction to the diseased men of the world how one present's engagement can lead one to the path of spiritual emancipation. The physician treats the patient to take treated milk in the form of curd for his sufferings from indigestion due to his taking another milk preparation. So the cause of disease and the remedy of the disease may be the same, but it must be treated by an expert physician like Narad. The Bhagavad Gita also gives the same solution for serving the Lord by the fruits of one's labor. So in the third chapter, in the 18th chapter, it comes, Karmana va adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. You work according to, but don't desire the fruits. This will lead one to the path of Naishkarmya, liberation. Vishwanath Chakravarti. The Lord making his appearance among the sages as Narad made the Pancharatra text, Tantram Satvatam. From these, one can learn that devotional activities, karmanam, will liberate one from the bondage of karma, Naishkarma. Okay, any questions up till now? Any qualifications, any questions? Okay, so I'll continue. I told there is no much discussion here. Okay, Priya Mataji, there is one question. Yes.
Prabhuji, I missed one statement like Narada ji came to teach bhakti, then Vara Avatar was to lift the earth, protect the earth. So, four Kumaras, can we say they were to preach? I missed that thing, the function of the four
Four
Kumaras.
Kumaras to actually Akhandam Brahmacharyam, how to execute the vows of celibacy. So that was their main purpose. Okay, let's go to now text 9. Ture dharma kala sarge nara narayana rishi bhutvatmano shamanopetam akrodha dushcharam tapa. Fourth, appearing in the wife of Dharma. Dharma Kala Sarge. Now there is a mistake here. Let me correct it. Dharma should come here. He became Nar Narayan of Rishi, and performed severe austerities. Akro Dushcharam Tapa, which gave peace to the soul. Bhut Atma Bhutva, Bhutva is there. Atma Upashamano Upeta. So that has become Bhutvatmo Shupana Bhutatmo Shama Po Petam. Prabhupada. As King Rishabh advised his sons, tapasya or voluntary acceptance of penance for realization of the transcendence is the only duty of the human being. It was so done by the Lord himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. The Lord is very kind to the forgetful souls. He therefore comes himself and leaves behind necessary instructions and also sends his good sons as representatives to call all the conditioned souls back to Godhead. Recently, within the memory of everyone, Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose to show special favor to fallen souls of this age of iron industry. The incarnation of Narayan is worshipped still at Badri Narayan on the range of the Himalayas. Turya means fourth. Dharma Kala, part of Dharma, Dharma Kala. Kala is part, refers to the wife of Dharma, since the Shruti says, Ardo va esha atmano yat patni, the wife is half of oneself. Appearing in her, Sargai, he became the two sages. The two are considered one avatar, Nar Narayan. They are considered as one. And till today also they are performing in the Gandhamada mountain hills in the Himalayas. They are still performing tapasya. So this is Nar Narayan and Narada Rishi. Let's come to text 10. I don't know, the slides were not properly adjusted. Yeah. Okay, text 10. Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddesha Kala Viluptam Provacharya Surai Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam. Fifth, Panchama, he became Kapila, Kapilo Nama, best of the perfected beings, Siddesha, and spoke to Asuri Brahmana. Asure, the philosophy of Sankhya, Sankyam Tattvam, which defines the various principles of existence. Grama Vinirnayam, which had become lost with time. Kala Viluptam. Prabhupada. The sum total of the creative elements is 24 in all. Each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is generally called as metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of the material elements. Sankhya means, Prabhupada is giving the etymological meaning here, that which explains very clearly by analysis of the material elements. This was done for the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said herein to be the fifth in the line of incarnations. Again, there is no, chronology here, but Panchama it is. Prabhupada, Asuri is the name of the Brahmana. That's it. Text 11. Shashtam atre apatyatvam vrita prapto anusuyaya anvikshim malarka praladadibhya uchivan. Being requested by Anusuya. Vrita prapto anusuya. She had done tapasya and being requested. The wife of Atreya, the Lord became her son as the Tatraya. Apatyatvam, and thought, Uchivan, the knowledge of the soul, Anvikshinim, to Alarka, Alakraya, Pralad, and others, Praladadibi. Prabhupada. The Lord himself incarnated as Dattatreya, the son of Rishi Atri and Anusuya. This comes in the fourth canto. The history of the birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Brahmanda Purana in connection with the story of a devoted wife. It is said there that Anusuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before the Lords Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as follows. My lords, if you are pleased with me, and if you desire me to ask from you some sort of blessings, then I pray that you combine together to become my son. This was accepted by the lords, and as Dattatreya, the Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit soul and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlad, Yadu, Haye, etc. So this Dattatreya is the same whom Prahlad Maharaj will meet in the seventh canto, who is lying down there, and then the same Dattatreya will teach, Yadu, which will come, the 24 gurus in the 11th canto also. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. Being selected by Anusuya, the wife of Atri, he became her son. This is described in the Brahman Purana in the story of Pativrata. Offering research, Natva, Anusuya spoke. Anuswaya Brivin. To Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Devan Brahmesha Keshavan. If you are pleased with me, Yuvam Yadi Prasanna me, and consider me worthy of blessings, Varaha Yadi Vapyaham, being merciful, Prasad Abhimuko, you should become my son. Bhutva Mama Putratvam Esyata. So, this is the prayer, and the verse is quoted by Vishwanath Chakatakur. Prabhupada just paraphrases the verse. Anvikshi means knowledge of the Atma, analysis. Fine Anvikshi means, minute analysis. And this is also sometimes called as Sankhya, but atomic analysis, the spiritual atom. And Krishna also does this in the second chapter of the Gita also. Okay. This is the Dattatreya incarnation and the Kapil incarnation. Of course, Dattatreya has three heads, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, because he's a combination of all three. Text 12. तत सप्तम अकुत्याम रुचेर्यज्ञो अभ्यजायत स यमादे सुरगणेरापात स्वयंभुवान्तरम सप्तम तत सप्तम seventh yajna appeared yajno abhajayat as the son of Ruchi in the wife of Akutyam Rucher. He protected Sa Apat, the reign of Swayambhu Manu, Swayambhu Antaram, with the Devtas called Yamas, Yamade Suraganer. So this is the Yagya who appeared. This will come in the eighth canto beginning. The administrative post occupied by the demigods for maintaining the regulations of the material world are offered to highly elevated pious living beings. When there is a scarcity of such pious living beings, the Lord incarnates himself as Brahma, Prajapati, Indra, and takes up the charge. During the period of Swayambhu Manu, the present period is of Vaivasat Manu, there was no suitable living being who could occupy the post of Indra, the king of Indralok, heaven planet. The Lord himself at that time became Indra, assisted by his own sons like Yama and other demigods. Lord Yagya ruled the administration of the universal affairs. Vishnu Jagatav. The Yamas were Yagya's sons. With the assistance of the Devatas named as Yamas, he gave protection during the reign of Swayambhu Manu. And at that time, he became Indra. Okay, text 13. Any questions up to now? Any questions, any clarifications? Okay, Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I did not get this 1.3.1-12 properly. Like the name of the avatar and the function of the avatar.
In verse 12.
Yes, Prabhuji.
The name of the avatar is Yagya.
Okay.
And he was the son of Ruchi and Akuti. And he became Indra.
Okay.
And his sons, Yagya's sons, Indra is not the name, Indra is the post, please remember.
Post, right.
And his sons, Yamas, are his sons, along with the Devatas, did the administration pastime.
Okay.
The administration. So that's what is being described here.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Ashtame merudevyam tu naberjat urukramah darshayan vartma dhiranam sarvashama namaskritam. Eighth Ashtame, the Lord was born to Nabi, Nabir Jata, and his wife Meru Devi, Meru Devyam tu, as Rishabha, Urukrama. He shows Darshan, the path of the wise, Vartma Dhiranam, worshipped by all ashramas, Sarva Ashrama Namaskritya. So this is the Rishabh incarnation, which will be discussed in the fifth canto of the Bhagavatam. The society of human being is naturally divided into 8 by orders and status of life, the 4 divisions of occupation and the 4 divisions of cultural advancement. So the occupations are Varna and the spiritual divisions are Ashramas. There's a brahmacharya ashram, grahastha ashram, that is cultural development, spiritual development. The intelligent class, the administrative class, the productive class, and the labor class are the four divisions of occupation. These are occupations, sabhava. And the student life, the householder's life, the retired life, the renounced life are the four statuses of cultural advancement towards the path of spiritual realization. So that's why called as ashramas. Out of these, the renounced order of life, the order of sannyas, is considered the highest of all, and a sannyasi is constitutionally the spiritual master of all the orders of divisions. In the sannyas order, there is also four stages of upliftment towards perfection. These stages are called as Kuticha, Bahudaka, Parivrajakacarya, and the Paramhamsa. The Paramhamsa stage of the life is the highest stage of perfection. This order of life is respected by all others. Sarva Ashrama Namaskritya, because Rishabdev exhibited the Paramhamsa ashram. Maharaj Rishabh, the son of Nabi and Merudev, was an incarnation of the Lord, and he instructed his sons to follow the path of perfection by tapasya, which sanctifies one's existence and enables one to attain the stage of spiritual happiness, which is eternal and ever increasing. Brahma Saukyam tu Anantam. Every living being searching after happiness, but no one knows where eternal and unlimited happiness is obtainable. Foolish men seek after material sense pleasure as a substitute for real happiness, but such foolish men forget that temporary so-called happiness derived from sense pleasures is also enjoyed by hogs and dogs. Very heavy Prabhupada. No animal, bird or beast is bereft of this sense pleasure. In every species of life, including the human of life, such happiness is immensely obtainable. The human form of life, however, is not meant for such cheap happiness. The human form of life is meant for eternal and unlimited happiness by spiritual relations. He's waking us up. 1 second, I think there is some background noise. There is some problem. Where are we? Yes. Yes. The spiritual realization is obtained by tapasya or undergoing voluntarily the path of penance and abstinence from material pleasure. Tapasya means to avoid material pleasures. Prabhupada is making it very clear. Those who have been trained for abstinence in material pleasures are called dhira, the men undisturbed by the senses. Only these dhiras can accept the order of sannyas, and they can gradually rise to the stage of Paramahamsa, which is adored by all members of the society. Sarva ashrama namaskritya. So you have to become dhira, control the senses. King Rishabh propagated this mission, and at the last stage, he became completely aloof from the material body needs, which is a rare stage not to be imitated by foolish men, but to be worshipped by all. So the yoga, what he exhibited was called as Jada Yoga, which is not to be executed by human beings. But, the imitation is being followed. And Prabhupada is heavily warning us here. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. Rishabh was born as the son of Angidra called Nabhi. That's it. So this is Yagya, and this is Rishabdev teaching his 100 sons. Okay. Rishibir yachito beje navamam parthivam vapo dugdameham aushadir vipras tenayam sa ushattama. Navamam, ninth, requested by the sages, Rishibir yachito. Yachito means requested or prayed. The Lord took the form of King Prithu, Bheje Parthivam Vapu. Because he milked herbs from the earth, Dugdamemam Aushadir, he is considered the most desirable of the avatars. Tenaham Sa Shauttama. Ushattama is the best. Before the advent of King Prithu, there was a great havoc of maladministration due to the vicious life of the previous king, the father of Maharaj Prithu, that is Vena. The intelligent class of men, namely the sages and the brahmanas, not only prayed for the Lord to come down, but also dethroned the previous king. It is the duty of the king to be pious and thus look after the all-round welfare of the citizens. Whenever there is some negligence on the part of the king in discharging his duty, the intelligent class of men must dethrone them. The intelligent class of men, however, do not occupy the royal throne because they have much more important duties for the welfare of the public. Instead of occupying the royal throne, they prayed for the incarnation of the Lord, and the Lord came as Maharaj Prithu. Real intelligent men or qualified brahmanas never aspire for political post. Maharaj Prithu excavated many produces from the earth, and thus not only did the citizens become happy to have such a good king, but the complete site of the earth also became beautiful and attractive. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur. Parthivam Vipu means the body of the king, Prithu. Parthavam is another version which means relating to Prithu. Herbs is representative of other things also. He milked all things from earth. Dugdha should actually be a Dugdha. This form is a poetic license. Because of that, he is considered the most desirable of all avatars, Ushatam, because he extracted everything from earth. Usha means desired or dear. Text 15. Rupam sajagre matsyam chakshusaushadhi samplave navya aropya mahimayam apad vishvata vaivasvatam manum. When there was an inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu, Chakshusha Aushadhi Samplave. Samplave means inundation. The earth is, the Bhumandal is like a boat. And when the boat sinks, there is inundation. The Lord accepted the form of fish, Rupam Sa Jagre Matsyam, and protected Vaivasvata Manu, Apad Vaivasvatam Manu, placing him on the boat formed from the earth. Navyam Aropya Mahi Mayam. So this is Prithu and this is the Matsya incarnation. Prabhupada. According to Sripad Sridhar Swami, the original commentator on the Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu. So when the Manu changes, there is a partial devastation. But according to Sridhar Swami, there is not always. But Prabhupada gives, again later on, Jeev Goswami's commentary and says that yes, there is partial devastation, not in the change of Manu, but there is also partial devastation when even the yugas change. Because, and it is mentioned that the end of Dwapar Yuga and the beginning of Kali Yuga, there was some partial devastation and many things got annihilated. So just like this government, which is there 5 years, when this government falls and a new government is formed, there is some times of disruption in the, kingdom or in the country. So there is always partial devastation happening when there is always certain changes happening. And yet this indentation after the period of Chakshushamani took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Shri Jeev Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like the Vishnu Tarvatar, Markandeya Puran, Harivamsha, that there is always a devastation at the end of each and every Manu. So I told this already. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has supported Shri Jeev Goswami, and he, Shri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrit about this inundation after each Manu. Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrat Muni, a devotee of the Lord, in this particular period, incarnated himself. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. During Chakshusha Manthan, there was a flood of water. Another version has Chakshushantare Samplave. The earth acted as a boat. Navi Mayam Mayam. Mahi Mayam. So the earth is like a boat, I mentioned. Matsyam protected Apad, the person who would be Vaivasvat Manu. Sridhar Swami says, though there is not a flood at the end of this Manvantar, an illusionary flood was shown to Satyavrat for fun. However, in Vishnu Dharmatar, Vajra asks Markandeya, what happens at the end of Manvantara? Markandeya says, O Vajra, the great lord, in the form of water, greatly agitated by countless waves, covers the earth and the lower planets with water. O Yadava, all things on the earth planet are destroyed at that time. Only the famous mountains are not destroyed. O best of kings, at that time the earth personified, taking the form of a boat, protects all the seeds without discrimination. O offspring of Yadu dynasty. So this is that verse which speaks about it from the, I think this is from the Vishnu Tarvatar. Vajra is asking Markandeya, and Markandeya replies. This explains that there is destruction at the end of Manvantara. In Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Rupa Goswami also states that there is devastation by water after every Manvantara. In his comments on some verses of Harivamsha as well, he says the same. The verse mentions Chakshusha Manvantara. Because Satyavrat was a great devotee of Matsya and Matsya was attracted to his devotee, Matsya appeared at this time. The following verse illustrates how the Lord is controlled by his devotee. Now, this is from the 10th canto. Unto him who assumes transcendental bodies according to the desire of his devotees, unto him whose form is itself pure consciousness, Vishuddha Jnana Murtaye, unto him who is everything, Sarvassamai, who is the seed of everything, Sarva Bijaya, and who is the soul of all creatures, Sarva Bhutatmani, I offer my obeisances. Nama. 10th canto. According to the desire, he assumes forms. Therefore, this particular narration is representative of events that take place after every Manvantara. So that is regarding the Matsya incarnation. Okay, up till now, any questions? We're just quickly going through this list of the various avatars. But any questions up till now? Okay, so we'll just go through this list quickly, and then we'll come to the most important verses discussion, especially the Paribhasha Sutra, Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa. Surasuranam udadim matnantam mandarachalam dhadre kamatarupena prishta eka dashe bupu. In the 11th appearance, Ekadashi, the Lord Vibhu, in the form of tortoise, Kamatarupena, held up on his back, Dhadre Prishta, Prishta means back, Mandara mountain, Mandarachalam, for the Devtas and the demons, Sura Suranam, churning the ocean, Udadhim, Mantnatam. So this is the Kurma. The Lord took the form of Kurma, you can see here. And this is the Mandarachal. The Lord appeared, took many, many incarnations. He supported the bottom of the mountain in the form of Kurma, and at the top also he incarnated, you can see. And here the Asuras and the Devas, and with the churning, many other incarnations came, which will come in the next verses. And just like on the back, somebody just massages you, and you feel a lot of pleasure. So this huge Mandarachal mountain was like a small massage for the Lord. Okay, let's see Prabhupada's commentary. Once both the atheists and the theists were engaged in producing nectar from the sea so that all of them could become deathless by drinking it. At that time, the Mandarachal hill was used as a churning rod, and the shell of the Lord tortoise, the incarnation of Godhead, became the resting place, pure, of the hill in the sea water. That's it. The Devtas and the demons churned the ocean to revive nectar. Kamata means turtle. That's it. So the further incarnations which appeared from this Samudra Manthan Leela is being described in verse 17. Dhanvantaram dvadasham tarayodasham evacha apayayat suran anyan mohinya mohayan striya. The Lord took the form of Dhanvantari, Dhanvantaram, as the 12th avatar. Dvadashamamam, and taking the 13th form as Trayodasham Evacha, woman Mohini, Mohini Striya, he let the devas drink nectar, Apayat Suran, and bewildered the demons. Mohayan Anyan. Okay, this is the Mohini Murti avatar who gave nectar to the demons and bewildered the asuras. And this is Dhanvantari. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur commentary. There is no commentary by Prabhupada on this verse. Dhanvantaram Dvadashamam means the form of Dhanvantari is the 12th avatar. His activity was bringing a pot of nectar. The use of Dvadasham instead of Dvadasham is a poetic license. Taking the 13th form, he let the devatas drink nectar. This is the activity of Mohini. What was his form? As a woman Mohini, he bewildered the demons. Anyan. Okay, let's come to text 18. चतुर्दशमं नरसिंहमं बिभ्रत् दैत्येन्द्रियः ऊर्जितं ददार करजैर्उर्वः एराकां घटकृत यथा. Taking the form of Narsimha as the 14th avatar, Chaturdasham Narsimham Bibrat, he pierced the dar, the chest of the strong king of the demons, Daityendriya Urjitam, with his nails, Karajair Urvav, just as the woodcutter breaks Ekagra grass. Ekagram Katakrita Yata. No commentary, and Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's comment is Eraka is a type of grass without joints. I don't know much about this. Panchadasham Vamanam Kritvagat Adruvavam Bale Padatrayam Yachamana Pratyaditsustri Pishtapam. This is the Vaman avatar. Taking the form of Vaman as 15th avatar, Panchadasham Vamanam Kritva, the Lord went to the sacrifice of Bali. Agad Adruvam Bale, begging 3 steps of land, Padatrayam Yachamana, but desiring to steal the heavenly kingdom from him. Pratyaditsus 3 Pishtapam. 3 Pishtapam means, the 3 planetary systems. So this is the Nartim and the Vamana avatar. Prabhupada, let us see what he has to say. The Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of universe from a very small beginning, and similarly, he can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land. We can make small beginnings, and the Lord, out of his mercy, can give an entire universe. And with a small plea, he can take that entire universe. So you have to be very careful. Pratyaditsu means he desired to snatch away. Okay, text 20. Avatar Shodashame Pashyan Brahmadruho Nripan Tri Saptakritva Kupito Ni Shatram Akaron Mahim. The Lord appearing as Parshuram, Nripan, the 16th avatar, Avatare Shodashame, seeing the kings harassing the Brahmanas, Pashya Brahmadruho became angry, Kupito, and 21 times, 3 Saptakritva, annihilated the Kshatriyas from earth. Ni Shatram Akaron Mahim. Ni means without Kshatriyas. Prabhupada. The Kshatriyas, or the administrative class of men, are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the intelligent class of men who give direction to the rulers in terms of the standard Shastras or the books of revealed knowledge. The rulers carry on the administration according to that direction. Whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or the administrative class against the orders of the learned and the intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post. An arrangement is made for better administration. Vishwanath Chakra. 3 Sapta Kritva means 21 times, 3 into 7. Kritva is a suffix after numerals to indicate counting of repeated actions. Also, numerals with a suffix such as 3 indicate repeated actions. Panini. Tata Saptadesha Jata Satyavattyam parasharat chakre vedatrayo shaka drishtva pums alpamedasa. The Lord born from Parashar in the womb of Satyavati, Jata Satyavatyam Parashat, as the 17th avatar, Tata Sapta Dashe, seeing the meager intelligence of the people, Drushva Pumsa Alpamedasa divided the tree of the Veda. Chakre Veda Taro Shaka. The Veda, which is like the tree, Taro, he made into various shakas. So this is Parashram and this is the Ved Vyas avatar. Prabhupada. Originally, the Veda is one, but Srila Vyasadev divided the original Veda into four, namely Shama, Sama, Yajura, Rig, Atharva. And then again, they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Vedic language and subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by highly intelligent and self-realized Brahmanas. But in the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by the Brahmana father are in the present age no better than the Shudras or the women. The twice born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as samskars. But because of the bad influence of the present age, the so-called members of the Brahmana and the other higher orderly families are no longer highly cultured. They are called Dvijabandhus, the friend of the family members of the twice born. But these Dvijabandhus are classified among Shudras and the women. Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dvijabandhus, Shudras, and the women. So that's the activity of Vyasadeva. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur. Alpamedasa means having small knowledge. That's it. Text 22. Naradevatvam apanna surakarya chikishaya samudra nigradini chakre viryan atah param. The Lord taking the divine human form of Rama, Naradevatvam apanna, performed brave actions, chakre viryam ata param, such as controlling the ocean, samudra nigra adini, with the desire to help the devas, surakarya chikirshaya. Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead, Sri Ram, assumed the form of a human being and appeared on earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe, because Ravan was harassing. Sometimes great demons and deities like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and many others become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with the spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. So Prabhupada is giving a hint that too much advancement of material civilization with the help of material science is a Ravana mentality, and it will be destroyed by the Lord in his incarnations. And the Lord can incarnate in different ways, through a cyclone, through a nuclear bomb, and destroy such material advancement, because this is like asuric. It is asuric. So that is, the examples were there in the form of Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, and today it is in the form of material advancement of material science. Now, an attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. So Ravan wanted to, go to the heavenly planets without having the required qualification through fly. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accounted there for particular purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord. But puffed up by tiny success in material advancement, sometimes the godless scientists challenge the existence of God. Ravana was one of them, and he wanted to deport ordinary men to the planet of Indra, heaven, by material means, without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built up directly reaching the heavenly planets so that the people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter that planet. He also wanted to perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Ram, the personality Godhead, and kidnapped his wife, Sita. Of course, Lord Ram came to chastise this atheist, answering the prayer and the desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravana, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramchandra was a personality Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the material advanced Ravana, could perform. Lord Ramchandra prepared a royal road on the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because weightlessness is the creation of the Lord by which he can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, he made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillar. So this is, the bridge which Lord Ram created. Nobody can do that. This is a display of the power of God. Vishnu Thakur. Nara Devatvam refers to Ram. Taking the form of Ram, he performed actions such as controlling the ocean. Since this can be seen even today at Setu Bandh, it indicates his show of great power. So Vishnu Thakur is mentioning, 300 years back, that even today the Setu Bandha is seen. Thus, it is mentioned here as a chief among all of his activities. Okay, now the famous incarnations is described in text 23. Ekonavimsh vishamshtime Vrishnishu prapya janmani Ramakrishna iti bhavo Bhagavan aharat bharam. So here the word Bhagavan is used for them. The Lord Bhagavan appeared in the Vrishni dynasty, Vrishni Prapa Janmani, in the two forms of Balram and Krishna. Ramakrishnava iti, as the 19th and 20th avatars. Ek ona navamsha vimshataveva. And relieve the burden of the earth. Ahrod bhuva bharam. So Rama and then Krishna and Balram. Prabhupada. The specific mention of the word Bhagavan in this text indicates Balram and Krishna are the original forms of Lord. This will be further explained later. Both pastimes will come in the 10th canto. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we have learned from the beginning of this chapter. So this will be further explained in the 1 to 28, Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Now, Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we have learned from the beginning of this chapter. Where we have learned in the beginning of this chapter that Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of Purusha? Who will answer this? Let us see. Who will answer this question? Ashok Atma Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Very first beginning of this chapter is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya.
No, that is first canto, first chapter. We are in the third chapter.
Oh, in the beginning of this chapter. Oh, sorry. Okay.
What is the verse which is speaking? What is that verse? Okay, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, just now you mentioned SB 1.3. 2.28. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam.
No. I think you're not getting the
एते च
question.
अंशकला पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वामी इंद्राणी व्याकुलम लोक विदंती युगे युगे 1328.
See this statement. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we have learned from the beginning of this chapter. I'm asking this question. Everyone is trying to answer now this, that the specific mention of the word Bhagavan in this text indicates that Krishna and Balram are the original forms of the Lord. This will be further explained later. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. This will be explained further later. They are Bhagavan. But this statement, Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we have learned from the beginning of this chapter. Where we have learned that? I know this is a little tricky. Anyone? Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, yes.
Krishna Prabhu, so first was Jagrehe Paurusham.
Yes, first was Jagre Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibi. You know, so there is the original form of the Lord. He accepted the Purusha form in the form of the Purusha avatars, beginning from Karadoksha Vishnu. The Purusha, that's what Prabhupada is trying to explain there. I hope it is clear. He is directly the original personality of Godhead, and Balram is the first plenary manifestation of the Lord. From Baldev, the first phalanx of plenary expansions. Phalanx means a huge, unlimited, there are unlimited Chaturvyavas. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Anirudh and Pradyuman expand. Lord Shri Krishna is Vasudev and Baldev is Sankarshan. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. The word should be Vim Shati Tame instead of Vim Shati Me, but the syllable Ta is dropped for meterical reasons. The Lord appearing in the Vishnu Dhananjali as the 19th and the 20th avatars named Balram and Krishna, Ramakrishna, relieve the burden of earth. Okay, so we have another 4-5 verses which will describe these 22 avatars, and then a very important discussion will come, which is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That we will discuss quite elaborately in the next class. So any questions, any clarifications up till now? Okay, so we'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ashok Atma Prabhuji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I have subscribed for tomorrow's class, Prabhu, 27th.
Okay, that we'll take it up later on. Any question?
Yeah, no, thank you, Prabhu. That's it.
Priya Mataji, you have any question regarding the class?
Yes, Prabhuji, if possible, can you just show me the images, if possible, for all the 22 avatars so that I can identify?
Pardon?
Just by looking at the pictures, can I identify the avatara? Can you show me pictures, if possible, of all the 22 avatars?
Okay, that I'll send you the slides and you can,
Okay.
can have a look.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we'll stop here.